Hello everybody, I am Ace Creeper and today I'm back with a brand new video. Today we're talking about the upcoming Doctor Who episode, Rosa. I'm very much looking forward to this one. It's going to be a very important one and they're going to really have to get it right. So today we're going to be talking about what we know so far in terms of reviews, teasers and that sort of thing. So we're going to just summarise what we think so far, kind of how I think the episode might go, what I think, how I think it'll do, whether or not I'll like it or not. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, we're going to make some predictions, look at some stuff we know so far, and probably inform you on things you may not have already known. So, possible spoiler alert if, you don't want to know anything about this episode, but this is all spoiler-free. Looking at early reviews, it seems the episode is going to be very politically focused, and for a lot of people that's not a great thing, and don't be afraid by the word politically focused. In that sense, I'm talking more to regards of the historical accuracy and not ramming a message down your throat like Moffat's era tried to do. I feel like this is just showing how history has changed. This era was horrific and awful in terms of racism. Hence the civil rights movement even being a thing. So I felt like it would be more offensive to sugarcoat it and pretend that it wasn't as bad as people say it was. Showing genuine historical accuracy is always a good thing, and by that I mean Doctor Who TV have said, in quote, that Ryan and Yaz are subjected to both verbal and even physical abuse that some may find tough to stomach. That, to me, and to some people will be like, oh god, political correctness gone mad or whatever. It's not at all. I think that's a great thing. And the reason I think that's a great thing is because it can really drive an important message without throwing it down your throat in a way. If you sugarcoat history, it's more disrespectful. I like the fact that they're keeping it historically accurate because it can teach a good lesson without throwing it down your throat. You're keeping it accurate. I feel like it would be a bit odd if there wasn't anything said to Ryan or Yaz. I mean, we've had in previous episodes, I'm sure, I think Martha said a couple of times, but like when she went Shakespeare Code, for example, there's a few mentions of race in that. And it was played off as like a joke of sorts. This won't be, I don't think. This will be very serious, as well as kind of showing a message as well. I'm hoping that it will be decent and not, like, insensitive, because there's a very fine line, so we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. But I'm happy that they're keeping to historical accuracy, and they're able to show a message without, again, throwing it at your face all the time. They're just showing you what history was like and why it was bad. People are a bit upset about the whole idea of the show being educational again. I'm going to stress again, the show's always been educational. And the example that I always use is Twice Upon a Time, which has nothing to do with the Shemilt era, other than the fact that obviously the regeneration. But the episode itself, the structure of that, had nothing to do with Chibnall. And Chibnall's view of a new educational show is no different to what we've had there. Twice Upon a Time showed us a little glimpse of the Christmas armistice, a famous event in human history as part of the First World War, when there was a ceasefire between two sides and they played football together, shook hands and that sort of thing. It only happened once ever, as the 12th Doctor described. There was a monologue about it, and that was educational. It wasn't ramming it down your throat and going, look at all these facts you don't know. But I know a lot of people already know about that, but someone like my little brother who's only just went into comprehensive school now, didn't know about the Christmas armistice. So he learned about the Christmas armistice through that. So when he eventually comes to doing studies on it or whatever, then he'll know about it because of Doctor Who. Doctor Who's always been a very educational show, whether it likes to do it purposefully or not. It's anything to do with historical elements is always educational because the show tries to be accurate to history. And I think this is no change. I don't think it's anything to be scared of that someone said, we're going to try and make it educational. Because it's always been educational. Everything based in the past will be educational because it'll be accurate. Same with the potential Witchfinders one, the one with James the First. It will be historically accurate because it's got James the First in it. It has to be. So I'm glad they're driving again with the historical accuracy in terms of the racism, in terms of the actual characters in it, because if you didn't then it would be insensitive. But at the same time, it's a good education lesson, again, without throwing it down your throat. So I do like that. Anyway, moving away from the politics side of it, how is the episode panning out itself? Apparently the characters are really well done. Apparently there's a great scene between the Doctor and Graham regarding a hotel room, which again suggests to me that they're going to be staying overnight in probably the motel that we saw in the trailer. It doesn't usually keep the people in a place overnight, but it has happened before, e.g. the Shakespeare Code is one that I can think of off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's been many, many more, where they went to a different planet or where they went back in time or to the future or something and they've stayed overnight. had a bit of a sleep there, got up in the morning and continued before leaving. It's always, I mean, deep breath, for example. There's loads of them, but you know, it's just a nice little element of that we're going to get to see that we haven't seen recently. I don't think we've seen recently. I think, yeah, no, we definitely haven't seen it recently because I don't think Bill ever did. So yeah, no, it's gonna definitely be interesting. We'll have to wait and see for that one. It says there's no monsters in the episode in terms of like a costumed or CGI threat, but there is plenty of horrifying people on display. Again, linking to the political side of it. Joshua Bowman steps forward as the main villain Krasko, a character who he crudely summed up as a racist Captain Jack, just lacking the charisma. We know from a few basic images and a few guesses that he's going to have a vortex manipulator because he's a time agent. That's a time agent prop. He does shoot some sort of laser in the trailer, which actually makes a set of ladders just disappear. So maybe it's some sort of device that just destroys anything without any mess, just kind of like removes it from whatever. So that's kind of interesting. So maybe he's going to be trying to use something like that to stop the bus boycott. I don't know whether he's trying to kill any of the key players, such as Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks or whatever. But he's got a weapon and he's using it against the Tardis team. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that front. But I do like the fact that they're bringing back time agents. Without, I mean, I presume there'll be a reference to Captain Jack. I'm hoping to God there's a reference to Captain Jack in there because there's got to be. But at the same time, you're keeping it to just the way of, I like the fact that they're bringing time agents back. It was a played on thing in the show for a little bit, but it didn't really get picked up properly. It was picked up more in Torchwood and in series 1 than anything, you know, establishing that there are many time agents out there. So it's nice to see them making a bit of a return, albeit in a villainous way. Talking about Sega Nakanola's theme as well, apparently he treads a bit more into Murray Gould-esque territory here. Being a bit more obvious with his score opposed to subtle, which I'm happy with. I like both. I'm happy with both. I love subtlety, but I also love Murray Gold's score, so having a mix of the two will not disappoint. It's especially pointed out in this one that is Rosa Parks has her own theme, and that it will be played in this. So that'll be great. I'm hopefully looking forward to that one. Anyway, now, because we've babbled on about that for too long, we're going to talk about the teasers that Doctor Who TV have put out. One by one, we're going to talk about what that means, whether or not I can interpret anything from it, and then let you decide. And if you do think of something that I don't, please do tell me in the comments. Apparently the Doctor doesn't yet consider Ryan, Yasmin and Graham to be companions. It apparently starts the episode with her actually trying to get the three back to Sheffield. So obviously it's something goes wrong and they end up in 50s America. But you know, it's always a possibility. It seems we're going to be going back to Sheffield in episode 4 anyway, so it's probably just a bit of a detour maybe. Whether it's on purpose or whether it's by accident, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm very much looking forward to it. Despite picking up almost immediately after the Ghost Monument, everyone has apparently had time to visit the TARDIS wardrobe, including the Doctor, who sports a brand new shirt. We've seen that in the trailer, we've seen everyone's got a new kit. When it says apparently, I don't think we're going to see the TARDIS wardrobe on screen, unfortunately, but I would love to, but we're just not going to, so we're just going to presume there'll be a mention, and that'll be it. Maybe we'll even see a corridor or something come away from the TARDIS. Maybe there'll be like a secret doorway that the Doctor will come out of or something. I'm hoping so. I want to just see something new with this TARDIS design that we haven't yet seen yet. And they make a joke about the female Doctor not being able to drive the TARDIS. I mean, that was inevitable, but it's happened before. Hence the Doctor's wife saying, "You never take me where I want to go." Yes, but I always take you where you need to go. That's a very important line in my book. So the TARDIS kind of does it. The TARDIS does its own thing most of the time. So there probably will be a joke in there, which again will probably, it says here, will not sit well with the internet. We'll have to wait and see with that one. Guess which king the Doctor lent a mobile phone to? Now, this could either mean two things. First of all, it could mean Martin Luther King, which is very interesting, and a nice play of words on their front. I know how their teasers work by now. But it could also be an actual king as well, so we'll have to wait and see. Not sure, not much I can interpret from that. Number 5, Archeron energy. The energy that the TARDIS uses, so I'm glad, again, I mentioned this in episode 1, I'm glad they picked up and used, because I feel like they are keeping to the show's history. You know, they're not changing anything. The TARDIS does still work on Archeron energy, and it still does have some sort of connection. So maybe something happens, or maybe it's something to do with the time disturbance in 50s Montgomery that brings the TARDIS there because of the Archeron energy, or something along those lines, maybe. We finally get a rousing brilliant from the Doctor, so we're finally going to get that line that we've been waiting to hear again since Twice Upon a Time. So I'm looking forward to that one. The TARDIS and Rosa Parks have something in common. Not a clue what that's referring to. We'll have to wait and see. I really don't know about that one. There's many. That's weird. I don't know. They're both alive. I'd hope. I don't know. Perception filter, which makes you think they might do the key thing again. Probably not though. They'll probably have something else to do that. But I do quite like that idea. We'll have to wait and see where it goes with that. But I'm very much looking forward to seeing like how they go about that. Maybe even the TARDIS disguises itself. Maybe the chameleon circuit's working. Probably not. But you know, it's a nice thought. Who is GFB? Not a clue. Best exchange. Can we star it? Is the right question. Not a clue. I don't like the ones where they blur out some of the words because I don't understand the context of it, you know. So it's actually really difficult to kind of interpret it. Could we kill it maybe? I don't know. I don't know what that is, so it's really hard to interpret. But if anyone's got any suggestions, again, leave them in the comments. No, not that one. Second hand. Huge mileage. One careless owner. Could be referring to the TARDIS. Not even going to attempt this one. Both the Doctor and Graham have aliases, and UK viewers will recognise them both. Now that's interesting. I'm really interested with that one. The Doctor, I'm presuming, will go for like a Joan Smith, maybe. And maybe Graham will take John Smith. That'll be amazing. I don't know. It'll be really interesting. I don't know why Graham doesn't just keep his normal name though. But we'll have to wait and see. They've both got aliases, and UK viewers will recognise them both, which makes me. Is it going to be a reference to like The Chase or something? I don't know. The fact that they're saying UK viewers, that's making me suspicious. I really hope so though. The Beast. Apparently, the Doctor and a companion are married. Oh god, this better be River Song, and it better not directly mention anyone. It hopefully just can be passed off as a bit of a joke and a one-liner, because I've never really liked the idea of the Doctor being in a relationship with companions. It only depends on if I mean, like Rose was, you know, it was that era. It was what they did with that, you know. It was Tennant as well. So you know what can I complain about? Doomsday's a great episode. But obviously River Song probably was the only candidate for the Smith era that I'd even pick out. So a companion married, and it says apparently, so it's obviously one that we weren't aware of. I'm worried, but I'm hoping it's just a one-liner and a pass away. Again, not a clue with this one. Jodie Whittaker almost gets the Colin Baker treatment, which really worries me. I don't know what they're referring to there. Hopefully, not the arrogance, because that will probably put me off her Doctor a little bit. Maybe a joke towards the fact that she almost, like, I don't know, maybe she almost, like, because I mean Colin Baker, one of his more infamous moments is when he like choke slammed Perry to the ground of the TARDIS. So maybe it's something along those lines. Maybe it's something to do with violence. And she goes, oh no, I'm not going to do that again, or something like that. The way they mention Colin Baker is quite interesting though. So if anyone has any ideas for what that might be, please do let me know. Guess who else uses that mobile phone? Again, not a clue. Stop using mobile phones. These teasers are really confusing, and I don't have a clue. Literally caused me to tear up. No, I don't want to be ... Again, I don't know. But that, again, tear up, must be a sad scene, must be an emotional scene. We'll have to wait and see with that one. Rosa distinctly shows what the Ghost Monument did not. The TARDIS's time rotor, despite being a jagged crystal column, does move up and down during flight. Hell yeah. We saw this in the behind-the-scenes stuff. There's a behind-the-scenes reel about the TARDIS, and there was one shot where you could see it moving, so I knew from that it would, but, you know, it's good to know that we're finally going to be able to see that. You can add 2 more US presidents to the list of those who have appeared in Doctor Who, which excites me, because the 2... kind of presidents around this era. So the person who was the actual president of the United States when the episode is based, it was Eisenhower. So we're probably going to get to see him, but one that really interests me is we could potentially be getting to see John F. Kennedy as well, who was, you know, he's very much connected with the whole civil rights stuff as well in terms of history, as far as I remember from my old history lessons. But also he's the next president down the line, so it would kind of make sense, and it would be nice to maybe see a bit of him. If it's saying we're going to add 2 more US presidents, we're going to have to see, you know, at least a couple more. And it can't be like Richard Nixon, because we've already seen him. other than that, I don't really know of anyone else who may appear, but those two seem the most likely candidates, Eisenhower and Kennedy, probably to appear in this episode, which is great. You know, it's great to see more interpretations of more important historical figures. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Anyway, we've talked for a very, very long time. Hopefully we can cut some of this out. But yeah, tell me what you're thinking about this episode so far, whether you're excited for it, whether you think it's going to be good, bad, etc. Tell me if I missed anything in terms of teasers and that sort of thing. I probably have, because there's quite a lot of them this time round. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, comment below for any more suggestions in the future, subscribe if you haven't already, check out the Patreon if you want to support the channel, Discord server if you want to gush about Doctor Who 24/7 like myself, and I will see you all next time. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.